I'm a guy that's 25. Lego Star Wars is my life. I like Ryan Johnson. I'm Rich Boy J. Hello boyos, Rich Boy J here, back in with another video, and this is going to be another episode of collecting every Lego Star Wars minifigure that exists. This is a series where, as the title states, I'm trying to collect every Lego Star Wars minifigure. This does include some of the rare figures like the Cloud City Boba Fett and the Chrome Gold C-3PO. This does not include the one-off figures made of rare earth metals. I'm not going to bother with those, but we have a pretty good assortment of figures today, so let's get right into it. The first group of figures we have today are some Han Solos. So the one on the left is the Han Solo with the blue jacket and brown pants. This one is kind of confusing. This is one of the figures that were basically updated with the recent updates to the minifig catalog on Brickset and Bricklink.com. Bricklink says this supposedly came in the 2006 X-Wing, which obviously isn't the case because this is apparently a 2010 figure. They catalog it as a 2010 figure. I'm honestly not sure which exact set this figure came in, but this is a specific configuration of Han Solo that I did not have before. I mean, it's really just comprised of other elements that I have in other figures. A lot of these figures at this point are going to basically be like just weird variations of figures I already have. So not too much to talk about here. I will say the torso on this figure is pretty nostalgic for me, considering it was in the first Millennium Falcon set I ever got. I got that 4504 Millennium Falcon before I even knew who Han Solo was, before I even knew what the Millennium Falcon was. So the torso is pretty nostalgic for me. Similarly, if we move over to the next figure, we have another Han Solo with the same torso. This one apparently came in the 2011 Hoth Ego base set, so he has the same torso as the one before. He also has the nice parka piece, which is cool. I actually really like this piece. I think this is a very nice looking Lego element, especially for snow related figures. So cool element right there. The face is kind of interesting because he has these super orange eyebrows, which I think really stick out. It just doesn't look like Han Solo. Like the face before, it worked. This one, not so much. Those orange eyebrows, like, if it wasn't this outfit, you'd have no indication that this was supposed to be Han Solo because of those eyebrows. The pants are the pants, I think, from that original 4504 Millennium Falcon set, so it's weird to see how they basically stopped using it at this point in 2010 and then reverted back to using it, even though Han's pants in this movie are certainly not tan. Overall, decent figure. Like, the printing and stuff is all okay. The eyebrows I don't care for, and the pants are obviously incorrect. Next up, we have some Boba Fetts. The Boba Fett on the left is Boba Fett with the balaclava head, so you can see if you take off the helmet, he has that balaclava head that a lot of people really like. I thought it was a cool thing for Lego to do. A lot of people want to see like clones and troops with this, but from what we've seen, like no troop that I'm aware of wears this like around their neck and over their head. When Finn takes his helmet off in The Force Awakens, he doesn't have it. In the Clone Wars, when the clones take off their helmets, they don't have the balaclava. Like, it's a cool idea, but I'm not sure why people want this to be done more often, because it's not a thing that happens often. I could maybe see it for the fact that the neck is actually black underneath, like, that is nice, but I think at some point, if Lego like really wanted to get some nice detail on clones, they would just start printing black around the base of the neck. It's not something I'm super concerned about, but it is a thing they could update down the line. This is, I mean, your standard run-of-the-mill Boba Fett from around this era. This specific Boba Fett is from the 2012 Celebration Mini Slave 1, and it's kind of weird, like looking at the back of it, without the jetpack, it really sticks out. Like the lack of back printing looks so weird on this figure with such nice torso and leg printing. If he had the jetpack, it literally would not matter, but the fact that he doesn't have it makes, I feel, the lack of back printing really stand out on this figure. The next Boba Fett is, of course, another variation of Boba Fett. This one came in the 2010 Slave 1 set. The weird thing about this one is I think the lack of leg printing really sticks out on this. I feel like we've just, especially recently, just had, you know, the ultimate versions of Boba Fett, like in the Betrayal on Cloud City, and even Slave 1, the UCS Slave 1, he has the arm printing, leg printing, back printing, like printing all around. They've really perfected the figure at this point, but the fact that he doesn't have the leg printing here, I think really sticks out. He does also have these dark red hip piece that kind of sticks out, and if you take off the helmet, he just has the smirking Jango face that we've come to expect. So not too much to talk about there. We have Luke Skywalker Pilot. This came in two sets. It came in the 2010 AT-AT set as well as the 2012 X-Wing. This is kind of that mid-period. Like, this isn't the super old, like super outdated, non-detailed Luke Skywalker pilot figure, but it's not like the modern pilot figures that have just, you know, an incredible amount of detail. I will say the helmet looks very nice. I think to this day, they might actually still use this helmet, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Looking at this compared to all the other pilots that we have nowadays, it looks severely under-detailed with the lack of leg printing and just not as much detail in the torso. He does, however, have some back printing, which is kind of nice. Next up, we have a 2-1B droid. This one came from the 2010 Palpatine's shuttle set. I'm honestly surprised it took me so long to get this figure because I really love these droids. I love how LEGO makes the 2-1B droids. I just never got this specific one. The medical droids that we got in like the Hoth context, they're more of a light bluish color, maybe like a sand blue even. These have more of that maybe dark gunmetal gray color, which I think looks very nice. But I love this figure. This is such a nicely detailed figure, especially with the eyes, the wire that comes down from the chest. I like that a lot. We flip him over to his back, you have just basically the hollowed out back that you'd expect from LEGO droids, but I don't mind that too much. You'd mostly be looking at this figure from the front, and I think it is a very nice figure. So I like getting droids like these. These just are nice, maybe set pieces for mocks you want to build. You want to just have a droid in the background. It's not, you know, specifically recognized name droid, so you can throw this guy anywhere and spruce up a mock if you'd like. Lastly, we have two Clone Wars figures. On the left, we have Cad Bane. This is from the 2013 HH87 Star Hooper set. He is noticeably missing his rebreather because he didn't have it in that Rako Hardeen Clone Wars arc. This is kind of a newer Clone Wars figure, so I think the printing is still has that like simplified Clone Wars aesthetic. But he does have back printing, which is nice, and I think for the Duros especially, the bigger Clone Wars eyes don't look as bad. Like, I think this is a decent looking Cad Bane figure. I think if I was putting Cad Bane in a mock, I'd probably use the Duros head that we got in that Rebel Battle Pack, but this is still not a bad Cad Bane figure. Like, if you just wanted to have him in the background of a mock, I don't think he would really stick out on the count of him being a Clone Wars figure. So I like this. I love his giant floopy hat that he has. It's just a nice figure all around. Cad Bane was a cool character in the Clone Wars. And finally, we have a droid with some gold on it. That's what's up. This is R8B7. It came in the 2011 Mace Windu's Jedi Starfighter set. This is probably one of my favorite astromech droids that LEGO has made. The color scheme looks so nice. I love the dark blue dome, the dark gray body, and then the gold accents that just looks so good. If we flip them over, we can get a look at the back, and once again, so much detail in there. Same minor issue as before. It does have the simplified Clone Wars printing, but I feel the colors and just the amount of detail in it, because even though it stylistically is Clone Wars, there's still a good amount of detail in this droid. I think that it would still be worth using, you know, in a normal mock, because it's just such a nice, unique looking droid. I really do like this figure. So now that we've gone through all the figures that I've got today, let's go ahead and throw these bad boys on the wall. Mm, mm, mm. That wall do be looking pretty full though. So let's take a look at some of the figures added to the wall this week. We'll start off with my man Han Solo up here. He is sandwiched between not the newest Gamorrean guard. I guess that's technically the second Gamorrean guard, the one with the brown arms, and it looks like that's Wedge Antilles chilling right there next to him. I placed the pilot Luke figure right here. He's all by his lonesome. I'm not sure what figures go here, but it's kind of concerning that there's that big of a gap right there next to that Luke figure. Making our way to the left, we have that Boba Fett from that 2010 Slave 1 set. It's nice to see that finally filled in, because I think this is now all the figures that came in that set that were, I guess, new at that point, if I'm not mistaken. So good to see that that is completed at this point. We had a couple of figures clustered over in this area. We had the Han Solo with his parka, that hood on his head, looking pretty good. And we even had our partially gold droid chilling right here. These spaces kind of depress me because I still need that tactical droid, and he is calling for a ridiculous price nowadays. I really do like that figure. That's one of the ones that I just should have gotten a long time ago, and I didn't, and now I am quite literally paying the price for it. And lastly, we placed one of the Boba Fett figures over here, chilling next to the Luke Skywalker. So if we zoom out just to get to appreciate the wall, things are looking pretty good, if I might say so myself. Still just trying to get this midsection right here to be a little bit less holy, be a little bit less empty, but we're getting there. I think that's really my main focus at this point. As I've said before, I still have sets and stuff. Like a lot of the figures down here, I'm probably good on. Like I would say below like this level, I probably have every single figure. They're just probably not placed because they're in some sort of set or whatever that I haven't opened yet, or they're a part of my Starkiller base mock, because I have a lot of those still in the actual build and not on this wall. Nonetheless, things are looking pretty great. Glad that I was able to get a minifig wall update out. These things are getting more and more expensive. Just the fact that I have so many figures means that there are less stores that have, you know, a figure that I need. So I feel like I'm just buying from more stores now, more different stores, which means more shipping. And that's not fun, but I mean, at least it means that we're getting closer and closer to the finish line, and that makes me happy. So that's going to finish up the video, guys. If you like what I do, go ahead, support the video by hitting the like button, support the channel by smashing that subscribe button, and I'll be back again very soon.